Hi, this is Bella Maria, and he always wants to make me laugh every time we get introduced. I get introduced. Okay, so this is Ask Bella Maria. I am Bella Maria, your host. You are listening and watching. There's A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV and Enlightening TV. So today, I have a very quick show. So I want to do a couple things for you. We're going to go ahead and we are going to pull a card from the angel deck, and we are going to talk about how to feel those around you when they've passed on. So I had a had to do a repeat on a show last week because last Sunday I lost my dad, and so with that, sorry I couldn't be there yet last week, but I needed some time. And this week, actually just yesterday, there was things that are happening even when my dad had passed. And so I wanted to talk about, because I know there's a lot of people that are going through similar situations. And when you lose someone, you just don't know if that person is showing up, or is it just you being kind of, wanting to hear it or feel it or sense it, or because he came into your dream or because she came into the dream. So I wanted to kind of cover a couple of things about what you're feeling, maybe, and signs. So, for example, a story. My daughter was in bed. She was spending the night over at her nonna's house. And so they were getting ready for bed, and she was watching TV. And the TV turned onto Netflix with my dad's profile, and because it switched. It was on my mom's profile and it switched to my dad's profile. And she was feeling heavy feelings, like kind of like a panic and anxiety attack. And at first, she just thought that she was just having a panic and anxiety attack. And it wasn't. It was, he was responding. He was, coming to her and letting her know that, he was there. Yesterday was a lot. I've had quite a few things where he used to smoke Talon cigarettes, so or cigars, and we kept smelling them in our house, and I was like, nobody around smokes, so we're just like, why do we keep smelling these smells? And we've been smelling them outside in the backyard, in the front. There's nobody in our area that is smoking. It's very kind of desolate. So we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then it was starting to show up inside the house. And so, I just kind of have a feeling that it's him, and I was getting, patted on the leg, kind of like what he used to do when I was little, kind of like consoling thing, or like, hey baby, type thing, just because I was my dad. So, I think with things like this, sometimes I'm going to have some points, feeling watched. So you get like this feeling of being persistently watched. It can be uncomfortable, but then you kind of just sit and like think, and you kind of let your body just relax and maybe see or feel the energy that you're getting, right? Because not all mediums can do everything for everyone, right? And we're here to be that vessel to be able to share that message. But maybe it might not be at that time, or maybe you're by yourself and you don't want to freak out. So how do you handle it? You always just kind of ground yourself, protect yourself, put those boundaries around you. For me, I use Jesus, God, and Archangel Michael, and I ask him to protect me. And I have my little barrier, right? It's like my bubble of white light. So, those are things that you kind of do to protect yourself, right? Maybe sometimes you'll hear like strange noises that really don't make any sense because there's nothing there, or there's a temperature change, sudden drops of temperature. odd smells. Again, I was saying, we're not smoking. We don't have cigars or cigarettes or anything like that. So where did that come from? It smelled just like my dad. So moving objects, pets acting strange. Now, if your pets are starting to kind of act a little funny and they're just like, getting squeamish, it could be a spirit that they don't even know or they don't recognize. And that's probably what that is. Or, I guess every pet is different, so if they're looking at a corner and there's nothing there, chances are something there. But you kind of just sit and think and listen and, kind of get that sense and that feeling of what is around you and what are you feeling? Are you feeling a woman presence? Are you feeling a man presence? And you just kind of, take it in and you figure it out. Some people also come, talk about light bulbs and the flickering of light bulbs, things of that sorts, just you kind of you'll get a feeling. And then there's times where maybe the energy is just kind of just there because it's a stale energy and hasn't been cleaned or cleansed or anything like that. And so with that being said, if you're in your own home and it's safe and you cleaned it and cleared it and you don't have a lot of clutter or things like that and you're feeling something, more than likely it's somebody who's coming to visit you. You can get them in dreams. They come into your dreams. There's so many different ways that your loved ones can come and visit. And so we had another situation. We were at Old Town Sacramento. Okay. And the old part of Sacramento was the old Sacramento before, they started building the city. And it's right on the river. And there is a store that we went in, and it was, you had to go down below underneath and into like underground, like a basement. And I came in and I felt like I was being greeted by this woman. And I didn't say anything and I just acknowledged her. And in my head, I'm like, hello. And I left it at that. And then I was in the car and I asked my family, I said, did you guys feel anything? Because we're all gifted in our own ways. And so I said, did you feel anything? What did you guys feel? And so when they said, they're like, oh, I kind of felt heavy on my chest. And then my husband said, oh, I felt something, but it was very like subtle. And I was like, well, yeah, because we were looking at art. I think she, was trying to, stay back, but was trying to observe us. And so he felt it too. And my son, he says he always feels his throat kind of choke up whenever he feels a spirit is around. So everybody had a different way of responding to a spirit who was trying to interact. So I just kind of wanted to share that and wanted to, let you guys know there's so many different ways for us to understand the other side. And, there's times and places, and sometimes we have to consider the energy. If it's cleared and you kind of know that like everything's in order and it's a clean environment, there's not a lot of clutter, there's not a lot of hoarding going on, then you could probably safely say, there's something going on here. But then there's times where people kind of just put their energy in and it kind of just sits there and it's stagnant. And that's also another way that a lot of scientists don't believe that what we're really feeling or sensing is true or accurate, but it's kind of cool. So, I wanted to ask, do we have time to do a call or, so I can pull a card, or should I just pull a card for everybody? What do you think? Because I'm just thinking, okay, we're going to pull a card. So I'm going to pull a card for everybody who is watching and listening. And I am using my Angel Tarot deck cards. I've had these tarot deck cards forever, since I started reading cards. So that would have been, I got these ones in 2012, and we had so many different memories with these cards. So I've done a lot with these cards, and I'm very, very connected to them. So I'm going to pull a card. The Wheel card. Excellent. The wheel card. Now, the wheel card is an Archangel Michael card, and that card is an infinite meanings, right? And so, in fact, there's so much that goes in with this card. Ooh, there we go. It is time and positive changes. And the wheel card is really cool because you can get um, the if you worked towards a goal, right, and you're working towards this goal and you've really made some really good positive changes, the whole thing is that this card is a symbol telling you that whatever you've been doing and whatever you've been working on will bring you the fortune that you need. So fortune is on your side. So things will move a lot faster for you. Things will move more positively, and you'll have more fortune. And it could be money, it could be love, it could be more. I think I'm feeling more monetary in this case, especially for this specific wheel card, and whoever is watching, I feel like that is a really good. I feel positive about that. This card here is the Two of Fire. Now, this card here, it is so you have two men that are coming and joining in. They're elves and fairies, I should say fairies. Sorry. They've come into their own. It's partnerships, signing contracts, continuing to move forward, making the best out of everything that you have, build and grow. Keep doing whatever you're doing, because these goals and this positive outlook that you have will come to fruit. So it's really, really good. And please, everybody, with this card here, when it's the Six of Water that comes through, you can't always think about the past. You have to keep moving forward. Remember that your history and your childhood, things that have happened to you in your childhood, things that have happened to you in the past, please just let it go so that you can move forward, so that you can bring money and fortune and all the positive things that you need in your life. Because when you go into looking when you're looking forward, you don't want to go backward. Okay. So I really want to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you can visit my website at askbellamaria.com. I have $20 sessions, and you can, contact me through there.